in winter's tedious nights. Sit by the fire with good old folks and let 'em tell thee tales of woeful ages, long ago bedid. Yes, some are born great. Some achieve greatness. Some have greatness thrust upon them, yes. Yes, what a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason. Infinite in facility, yes. Yes, if you prick us, do we not bleed? If you poison us, do we not die? Wrong us, do we not revenge all the world's state, men and women, nearly players? Should it has been all before thou hast been wise. Look down, you gods, a poor old man, full of grief as age, wretched in both. Blow, thou winter winds, crack your cheeks, blow!
Storm!
Hey, my hearts, chilly, my hearts. Yeah, take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle, blow till thou burst thy wind if room enough.
Good bosun, have care. Where's the master? Play the men.
I pray now, keep below.
Where's the master, bosun?
Do you not hear him? You more labor. Keep to your cabins. You do assist the storm.
Nay, good, be patient.
When the sea is. Hence, what cares these rowers for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good. Yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. If you command these elements to silence and work the peace of present, we will not head a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in the cabin for the mischance of the hour. If it so happen. Chilly, good hearts. Out of our way, I said. Down with the top mast. Yeah, lower, lower. Bring it a try with the main course. A plague upon this howling. They're louder than the weather of our office. Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give o'er and drown? Have you a mind to sink?
Hush them drifters, you frolic, laughing, charitable dog.
Work you then.
Hang, cur, hang, you whore son, you insolent noisemaker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
Lay her hold! A hold! Set her 2 courses off the sea again. Lay her off!
We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chapped rascal wouldst thou lie drowning in the washing 10 tides.
Oh, he'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it and gape at widest to glut him. We split! Oh, have anyone seen my hat? Farewell, brother!
Maybe to tell you this. I'm in love with
And that was how I lost my king and company. And my beautiful ship. Tragedy, really. So what's your story, darling?
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. Oh, I have suffered. With those I saw suffer, a brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished, and had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the frauding souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee. Of thee, my daughter. Thee, my dear one. That art ignorant of what thou art. Not knowing whence I am. And that I am not more better than Prospero, master of a poor full cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know. Did never meddle with my thoughts.
It is time I inform thee further. Lend thy hand. Pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, find comfort. The diresome spectacle of the wreck hath touched the very virtue of compassion in thee. I, with much provision in my art, hath safely ordered that no soul, no such perdition as a hair betid any creature in the vessel that thou did hearest cry, that thou didst seest sink. Sit down, for thou must know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, and left me to bodiless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. 12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy father was a duke, a prince of power. My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio. I pray thee mark me that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to put him the manage of my state. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Now, the condition. King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of my dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors of my brother. Whereon a treacherous army levied. One midnight fated to the purpose did Antonio open the gates of Milan. And I, the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose, hurried thence me and thy crying self. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively had quitted. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
O a cherubim, thou wast what did preserve me. Thou didst smile infused with a fortitude from heaven. And when I decked the seas with drops full salt, under my burthen groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water that noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linen, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steaded much. So of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from my own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant. Come, I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, grave Sir Hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive in fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding, task Ariel in all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now on the waist, the deck, in every cabin. I flamed amazement, sometimes I'd divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit, I would flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors, oh, the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary, the sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune, seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, that was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul, but felt the fever of mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. All afire with me, the king's son, Ferdinand, hair up, staring. Then, like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt and cried, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here."
That's my spirit, but was not this my shore?
Close by, my master.
What are they, Ariel? Safe?
Not a hair perished, on their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before, and as thou badest me, the troops I have dispersed about the isle. The king's son I have left, landed by himself, whom left cooling in the air, sighs in odd angles sitting, his arms in a sad knot.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. There's more work.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me such pains, I will remember thee that thou hast promised. It is not performed yet.
How now? Moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served thee without grudge or grumbling. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost. Thou thinkest too much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgotten the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgotten her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must each month recount what thou hast been, what thou forgottest. The damned witch Sycorax, with mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, to enter human hearing from Argier, thou knowest was banished, but for one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is this not true?
I, sir?
For 2 days I will discharge. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine.
Ooh. Hawa. 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 Hmm. 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 Huh? Yay!
Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
What is 'tis? We cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave Caliban?
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. Come on, thou tortoise.
As wicked dew as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fin, drop on you both. A south-west wind blow on ye and blister you all o'er.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou first came, thou madest much of me, would give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light. And I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. The fresh springs, pine brits, barren places, and fertile. Cursed be I that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subject that you have, for which first was mine own king. And here you sty me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep the rest of the isle.
I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh, would it had been done, thou didst prevent me. I'd had peopled else this island with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take. Being capable of all ill, I pitted thee. I took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. A red plague rid you for me to learn your language.
Hag seed hence, fetch us in fuel, and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business.
I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my dam's god Sebedos, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence.
Come into these yellow sands and then take hands. Curtsy when you haven't kissed the wild waves with flooded feetly here and there, and sweet sprites, the burthen bear. Hark, hark, the watchdogs bark. Hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanter, clear cry, cock-a-doodle-dow.
Where should this music be? Ah, the air, the earth. It sounds no more on shore, it waits upon some god o'er the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again at the king my father's wreck. This music crept by me upon the waters. I lie in boat there, furry in my passion, with its sweet air, thence I have followed it. Or it hath drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom, find thy father lies. Of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Seen him sadly ring his knell. Hark, now I hear them ding-dong bells.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear now above me.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench, it eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have. Such, this gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, and he's something stained with grief that's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer. May know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give. How may I bear me here? My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder if you be maid or not?
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
They are both in either's powers, but the swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. 1 word, sir, I charge thee, that thou attend me. Thou dost usurp the name thou ownest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy, to win it from me, the Lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can fall in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks wherein the acorn cradle. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not rash trial of him, for he is gentle, not fearful.
What I say? My foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makest a show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! 1 word more shall make thee chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush! Thou thinkest there is no more such shapes as he, having seen him in Caliban, foolish wench. To the most of men this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day. Behold this maid all corners else with earth. Let liberty make use of space enough. Have I in such a prison?
It works. Come on, follow me.
Be of comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwonted which now came from him.
Come, follow, speak not you for him.
Yes, right there. Neater than that.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our end of woe is common, every day some sailor's wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like we do. Kindly, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge. How lush and lusty the grass looks! How green!
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afric, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence my son is lost, and in my rage she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er shall see her. Oh, thou mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish has made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs.
No, he's gone.
We have lost your son, I fear, forever.
So dear, so the loss. Shoot, I don't need you anymore.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster. It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Very foul.
Had I plantations of this isle, my lord.
Heel soaked with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
And were I the king on't, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
I would with such perfections govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
God save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
And, do you mark me, sir?
No more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lung that they always use to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue it in 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then go a-bat fouling.
Nay, my good lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me to sleep, for I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What, also soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
We too, my lord, will guard your person and watch your safety.
Oh, thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It's a quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find myself not disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together as if by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more, and yet, methinks I see it in thy face. The occasion speaks it, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
I am more serious than my custom. Will you grant me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He is gone?
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and how well my garments sit upon me. My brother's servants were my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience?
Aye, sir, and what of that?
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou goest Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute that thou payest. And I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my head, you do the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
While you hear this night, conspiracy is time like days. If a life you keep it care, shake us somewhere anywhere awake. Awake.
Then let us both be sudden.
Oh, good angels, preserve thy king!
Why? How now? Oh, awake! Where are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whiles we stood here, securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls, or rather lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright the monster's ear, to make the earth quake. Sure, it was a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I cried to you, sir, as mine eyes opened. I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground. Let's make further search for my poor lost son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, King, go safely and seek
All
this.
the infection that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall and make him by itch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way unless he bid him. But for every trifle they set upon me, sometimes like hedgehogs which lie trembling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. And sometimes I am all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo, now lo, here comes a spirit of his to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind, yon same black cloud. Looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A kind of not of the newest poor John. A strange fish. Legged like a man, and his fins like arms. Warm o' my troth. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
Shall no more to see, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. And his mate loved Moll, Meg, and Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She left not the sabre of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did it. Then to see boys and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me, oh!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me, oh!
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him, and keep him tame, and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever walked on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle, if he have never drunk wine afore. Will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon. I will by know thy trembling. Now Prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here's that which will give language to you, cat. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. Oh, you cannot tell who's your friend. Well, open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be But he is drowned, and these are devils. Allah defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices? A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come, amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this, moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hid me under the dead moon calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, two Neapolitans scaped.
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not spirits, that is a brave god that bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou scape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle?
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for thy liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapedst.
Man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is hid in a rock by the seaside where my wine is. How now, mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man i' the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear!
By this good light, this is in the moon. Well drawn, monster, in good sooth.
Now show thee every fertile inch of this isle, and I will kiss thy foot. Prithee, be my god.
By this light, most pervertious and drunken monster. When's God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot, and swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then. Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But that the poor monster's in drink. An abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs, and pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee, and get thee wood enough. A plague upon that tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster, to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where the crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, and show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way! Without any more talking. Trinculo, the king, and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master. Farewell, farewell.
Howling monster. A drunken monster.
No more damns are meant for fish, no more fighting, no requiting, nor scrap, nor trench, nor wash, no dish. Ban, ban, Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, hate it, freedom, hate it, freedom, 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 hate it, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
Their besom sports are painful, and their labours delight and sets them off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labours pleasure. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crab, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thoughts of these laws, and pile them up. Upon sore injunction, my sweet mistress weeps when she sees me working such baseness. I'd never like a tear, I forget, but these sweet thoughts I do even refresh my labours, most busy lest when I do it.
Alas now, pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to the pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs a while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I had rather crack my swinnings, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it, and yours is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me. When you are by at night, I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration were what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage, brought my too diligent ear for several virtues. I have liked several women, never any was so fine soul, but some defect in her would dig quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the fool. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save for my glass, mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend. And my dear father, how features are abroad, I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself like out. But I proud of something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I'm in my condition, a prince, Miranda, I do thank the king. I would not so, and would no more endure this one slavery than to suffer. The flesh fly blown in my mouth, hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service, there besides, to make me a slave to it. And for your sake, I am this patient log, man.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event. If I speak true, if hollow, invert what best is boded me to mischief, I beyond all limit of what else I the world to love prize honor you.
I am a fool. Weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between 'em.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself. The bigger bulk it shows, hence bashful cunning, and prompts me, plain and holy innocence, I am your wife. If you will marry me, if not, I'll die your knave, to be your fellow. You may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I, with the heart as willing as bondage heir of freedom, here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in't. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal, but my rejoicing and nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time I must perform much business appertaining.
Now, my beautiful children, your mother and I are very proud of you. That's right, Philip, looking good today. And you, Gregory, so much charm and opportunity. No, Gregor, no!
Not me! When the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore, bear up and board! Drink to me!
Sir Monster, the father of this island, they say there are 5 of us upon this isle, where 3 of them, if the other 2 be praying like us,
Drink, servant monster! When I bid thee, thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? Ye were a brave buster indeed, if they were set his his tail.
My man-monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore. 35 leagues off and on. This night thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster.
Nor go neither, but you'll lie like dog, and yet say nothing neither.
Will that run, Monsieur Monster?
Nor go neither, but you'll...
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am engaged to gentle constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou. Was there ever a man a coward that hath drunk so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish, half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me! Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, the monster should be such natural.
Lo, again! Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo! Keep a good tongue in your head. If you approve a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster is my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again this suit I made thee?
Marry, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am a subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by its cunning hath cheated me of this island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! Would my valiant master destroy thee? I do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in sail, by this hand I will supplant some of your
What?
teeth.
I said nothing.
None then, and no more. Proceed!
I say, by sorcery he got this isle. For me he got it. And if thou greatness will revenge it on him, which I know thou darest.
That's most certain.
And you shall be lord of it, and I shall serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the
Yea, my lord, I shall yield thee to him asleep, and there thou mayst knock a nail into his beak.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pie-ninny is this, thou scurvy patch? I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows, and take his bottle from him. And when it is gone, drink not but brine, for I'll not show him with a quick, fresh as are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
This can second. Murrain on you, monster.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that! Huh. As you like this, give me the lie another time.
What did I? I did nothing. I'll go farther off. I did not give the lie. Out on your wits and bearing to.
Now, forward with your tail! Prithee, stand farther off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Proceed!
Why, it is as I told thee, it is a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep there thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or with a panch, or panch him with a stake, or cut his wheeze and with thy knife. But remember first to possess his books. For without him he is but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They'll do hate him, rudiously, as I do. And when he has brave utensils, for so he calls them, and when, which he has a house, he'll deck withal, but most deeply consider the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a non-borel. I never saw a woman, except for Sycorax, my dame, and she far surpassed Sycorax, as greatest does to least.
Is it so brave, alas?
Aye, my lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant.
Monster, I will kill this man, his daughter, and I will be king and queen, serve our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour he will be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honour.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Wilt thou play the catch you just taught me but erewhile?
At thy request, monster, I will do reason any reason. Come on, Drinkulo! Let us sing! Flout him and scout him and scout him and flout him and flout.
That is not the tune.
It is this sing.
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of
Show
nobody.
thyself in likeness. If thou beest a devil, take it as thou list.
Forgive me my sins.
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight, and hurt not, as sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears. And will I hear sometimes voices that, when I wake after a long sleep, will make me sleep again, and then, in dreaming, methought the clouds might open upon me to show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Oh, after do our work.
Lewd monster! Will follow. I would I could see this terror.
Will come. I'll follow. Stefano.
Oh, fire Larkin, sir. I can go no further. My old bones ache. 'Tis indeed a maze trod through forthright meanders. By your patience, sir, I needs must rest me.
Oh, Lord, I do not blame thee. I myself am attached with weariness to the tolling of my spirit. Sit down and rest. Even here I shall put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad he is so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forego the purpose you resolve to effect.
The next advantage we will take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now are they oppressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What strange harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous sweet music.
Give us kind keepers, heavens. What were these?
A living drollery. Now I believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix's throne. One phoenix at this hour reigning there.
And I'll believe both. And what does else want credit, come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for, certes, they are creatures of the island, though they have such monstrous shape, yet, note, their manners are more gentle kind than of our human generation you should find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said it well, for some of you present are worse than devils.
Cannot use too much such shape, such gesture, such sound, expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise and departing.
They have vanished strangely. No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Will't please you taste of what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, we did believe that there were mountaineers dewlapped like bulls, whose necks had hanging at them wallets of flesh, or that there were men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we bring each putter out their 5 for 1 should bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last. No matter, since I feel the best is past. My brother, good Lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world and what is in it.
The never-so-fated sea hath cause to belch up you, and on this island where men doth not inhabit, you mongst men being most unfit to live. I have made you mad.
Oh my God!
Oh heavens! Timekeepers were not these!
And even in such like valor men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of which your swords are tempered may as well, in the loud winds or with the mocked stabs, kill the still enclosing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable, and if you could hurt, your swords are now too massive for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero, goes down to the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me sedition worse than any death. Can be at once, shall step by step attend you in your ways, whose wrath to guard you from, else falls upon your heads. Is nothing but heart sorrow, and a clear life ensuing.
Holy Mother!
What hath befallen us?
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had, devouring, and in my instruction thou'st how nothing baited in what thou hast to say. So, with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. My high charms work. These my enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are in my power, and in these fits I leave them, to visit young Ferdinand, who they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you there in such strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous! Monstrous! Methought the billows spoke of it, the wind did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore in the ooze my son lies bedded, and I shall seek him deeper than any plummet e'er sounded. And with him there lie mudded.
But one fiend at a time. I'll fight their legions o'er.
And I'll be thy second.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt like a poison given to work great time after. I do beseech you, better of suppler joint, follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I too believe it, against oracle.
Then, as a gift in thine own acquisition, worthily purchased, take my daughter. But, if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet Persian shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow. But barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore, take heed, and Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life. With such love 'tis now the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion, or worser genius can, shall never melt mine honour into less, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think o'er Phoebe's steeds, our founder, or night kept chain below.
Fairly spoke. Sit then, and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel, my industrious servant? Ariel!
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble, o'er whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
I, with the twink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe, will be there with mop and mow.
valleys, most bounteous lady, thy rich leaves of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas, thy banks with pine and twilled brims, which spongy April at the hest betrims, to make cold nymphs chase crowns, and thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being last lorn, thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea merge sterile and rocky hard. There thou self dost air, the queen o' the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee, leaves thee, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot in this very place, to come and sport, her peacocks fly amain, approach rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, that ne'er dost disobey the life of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffused honey drops refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bough dost crown my bousty acres and my unshrubed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short grass green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bough, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that dusky is my daughter got, in her blind boy scandal company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I met her deity cutting the clouds toward Paphos and her son. Dove drawn with her, here thought they too have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bed right shall be paid, till Hymen's torch be lighted, but vain. Mars' hot minion is returned again. Her wash-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but play with sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gait.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me, to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be, and honored in their issue. Honor, riches, marriage blessing. Honor, riches, marriage blessing. Honor, riches, marriage blessing. Long continuance and increasing. Hourly joys will be still upon you. Juno sings her blessing upon you. Juno sings her blessing upon you. Juno sings, Juno sings, Juno sings.
Earths increase, boys in plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines and clustering, bunches growing, plants with goodly burthen bowing. Spring come to you at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Sacredity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on 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 you. This is a most majestic vision and harmoniously charming. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever, so rare a wondered father and wife makes this place paradise.
Sweet, now silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. There's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of the winding brooks, with your sedge crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels and on this green land answer your summons, Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love, be not too late. You sunburnt sicklemen of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday your rye straw hats put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
forgotten that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid, no more.
This is strange. Your father in some passion now works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, are all spirits, are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, ye all which it inherit, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness, my brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire to my cell, and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk, to still my beating mind.
We wish you peace.
were so young, so soft and droppable. Your mother and I, we are very proud of you. May you rest in peace.
Now does my project gather to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so, when first I raised the Tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge. Just as you left them, all prisoners, sir, the Line Grove which weather fends your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brothers and yours, abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly, him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo, his tears run down his beard, like winter's drops, from eaves of reeds, so charmed strongly works him, that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply, passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I'm struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back, you demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the ewe not bites, and you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though they be, I have bedimmed the moonlight sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azur'd vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder here I have given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake by the spurs, plucked up. The pine and cedar, graves at my command, have waked their sleepers, opened and let him forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do to work mine end upon their senses, that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I will drown my book.
Her. Her.
Ha home.
Ha.
Ahem? Oh ho. Ha home.
Aha! Oh! Whoa! Huh. Oh! Oh. Aha! Aha! Oh, look, sir, here is more of us. I prophesied if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. Now blasphemy that swearest grace o'erboard, not on oath on shore. Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split. It is tight, and and as bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all the service I have done since I went.
My tricksty spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all clapped under hatches, where, but even now, with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awakened straightway at liberty, where we were in all our trim, freshly beheld our royal, good and gallant ship, our master capering to ire on a trice, so please you. Even in a dream we were divided from them, and we were brought moping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem profitable of every these happened accidents. Till when, be cheerful.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio!
If these be true spies which I wore in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Stebidos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm feared he will chastise me.
Ha! What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords. Then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs and deal in her command without her power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death. Oh.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo was reeling ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded 'em? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the isle, sirrah.
I should have been a sore one.
This is a strange thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions, as you look to have my pardon. Trim it handsomely.
That I will, and I will be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god, and worship the dull fool.
Go to, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I not doubt shall make it go quick away, the story of my life, and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle, and in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these our dear beloved solemnized, and thence retire me to Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
My charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I has mine own, which is most faint. Now, 'tis true, I here must be confined by you, or sent to Naples, let me not, since I have my dukedom got, pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from these bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces as if it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.